Hello everybody and welcome to this very special episode of Business Growth Secrets. I'm super excited. We are at the business show today and I have a very special guest in Harpreet Kaur, the winner of The Apprentice, who is making major waves in business. We're going to have a fantastic chat. We're going to jump straight in. So Harpreet, thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Brilliant. I was a massive fan, very genuinely, on the show when you were watching it, because your business acumen was far and above the other candidates, and you powered through. And I love the directness and how you managed to really get your points across and complete the task. So really pleased to have you on the podcast. The podcast obviously being Business Growth Secrets. I've seen that some of the things you've been doing with your brand and your business, and it's starting to grow. I was so young, seeing that you're in Selfridges really. What I want to say to you is, obviously you were in business before The Apprentice. What was it like before running that business? And then we'll talk about some of the impact the media's had on you. Tell me a bit about your business journey from the beginning.
Yeah. So I've been running my dessert company, Also Yum, for, it's been 7 years now, and it's been a long 7 years. But at the same time, it also goes very quickly. As any business owner will know, every single day is just crazy different. When I first went into business, I was really naive. I honestly thought there are so many other people out there that do it. Of course I can give it a go. How difficult can it be? And was I in for a shock? Because I just came from a job in banking, and I'd always pursued like a very corporate route. But the skills that you have to have as a business owner and as an entrepreneur are just miles apart, So I think I had a lot of learning to do. It took me some time to really figure out, to actually not just set up a business, but to set up a model that is sustainable, makes money, delivers a great product, a service, has a reliable team. That takes a lot of effort. So it took some time to nurture, grow. The pandemic hit, which was crazy. We had to re-strategize and really just think all over again. Are we going to survive? And then fast forward to The Apprentice, where I went on. I battled through the show.
You did battle through it.
I did battle through it. Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah.
I wasn't going to back down. I really had my eye on the end goal, and nothing was going to get in my way. So that's where we are now, and I've got Lord Sugar on the board, which is crazy.
Yeah. It's really interesting that what you just said, you had your eye on the end goal.
Yeah.
Joseph, who I mentioned, is a good friend of mine. Mark I know really well. Lee, every single one of them, who are all winners, told me they went on that show to win.
Yeah.
And I think that was your mentality too, right?
I wasn't going to give it a shot. I was going to go on The Apprentice. I was going to...
Boom. I love that, right? You're in to win. I didn't come to compete, I came to win.
I didn't, yeah. The thing is, for me, I was almost fixated on the end goal, and this is going to sound a little bit crazy, but I'm really into visualization, manifesting, the law of attraction. Yeah. I knew that Lord Sugar was not going to point that finger at me and say, you're fired. I just knew it in my gut, because I told myself that, I made myself believe that, and I knew I just wouldn't get that finger. He was not going to fire me. And I believed that so much that it just turned into a reality, and I made sure that I just didn't leave a single stone unturned going through that process. I didn't let any anxiety or nervousness or second thoughts creep into my mind. I
think it's incredibly inspiring. I often tell business owners that the belief comes before the result, but the skills also come before the result. So we've got to have belief first, build the skills in order to get the result. Now, you've been running the business now 7 years. And it's really interesting that you said you had these challenges, you built through the challenges, you stayed focused on one goal in terms of the business. How important is that for business owners in your perspective, of just staying focused?
It's tricky, and it's also really hard to stay motivated. To keep focused, you also need motivation, but you also need discipline. Yeah. It all goes hand in hand. And even the most inspiring individuals that you see, they don't stay 100% motivated all of the time. Your mind wanders, Sometimes you're just not feeling great, or you've had some knockbacks in business, or some deal hasn't pulled off that you really thought was going to. It knocks you, okay? But the biggest key is discipline. If you can keep yourself disciplined and think, okay, these are the actions I'm going to complete consistently, regardless of whatever happens around. Or you have to sometimes shift your focus, that's okay too. But I think something that a lot of business owners can make the mistake of is, if one goal or vision isn't working out in the way that they thought it would, they almost derail and they think, well, what was the point and what was it all for? That's not the right mindset to have, because actually you are consistently making steps in the right direction, and maybe you are just being shifted towards another opportunity instead. And you've learned throughout the process, you've grown throughout the process, and guess what? In 12 months' time, you're going to think, thank God that door closed on me because this one has opened. So it's just about keeping yourself going, keeping yourself disciplined, because if you set out to go and achieve a mission with your business, you gotta keep yourself going, because no one else is going to.
Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't agree more. In terms of you having this psychology, which is very clear, which is brilliant, and that's the psychology of a winner, right? How's that been cultivated? Has it come naturally to you? Is it something that you've learned? Is it something you've trained yourself on? Or is it something that comes naturally to you? Maybe your parents have tried, I don't know. But I'd like to know from your psychology, because you've cultivated the psychology of a winner, right?
I love this question because I'll be completely honest, I don't have one answer to this. It's definitely a work in progress. There's not a single person out there, entrepreneur, business person, just a role model, that hasn't actually consistently worked on themselves and is probably working on themselves right now.
I love that answer. So.
Yeah, you know? I'm sure you're doing things.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right now, you think, okay, I'm the best version I can be. And in 12 months' time, you look back and think, gosh, I'm even better now.
Yeah.
We are all a work in progress. I definitely am. I would say that I have accelerated my self-progression over the past 2-3 years. For me, my personal trick has really been goal setting, deciding what I want, and taking the risk. Okay? I haven't got time to procrastinate, because that's just time wasted, okay? Make a decision, go with your gut, and guess what? If it doesn't work out, it's okay. No one's judging. It's fine. You know, business and life is a journey, and you just got to be ready to ride the wave, because we're all going to go through it.
I love it. Now, since the show, obviously you've built, your brand has been building, you know. I checked out your Instagram before we got together a moment ago, and I saw that you've just got into Selfridges, for example. How exciting is that for you? I think it's important for the audience to understand media and what media can do, because obviously that's helped you. I mean, you're a successful business owner already, which I love, but that media and that brand building, what kind of doors does it open for you? And how much would you encourage other people to get themselves out there into the media a bit more?
What The Apprentice has taught me is that you have to put yourself out there, okay? I have this almost essentially the same business that I did 12 months ago that I went into The Apprentice with. But now everyone knows my name. Everyone knows what I do.
And how much easier is it?
So much easier. I didn't put myself out there before because I made the mistake of thinking, well, there's similar businesses out there. What's so different about me? But actually, it all comes and boils down to self-belief, okay? Put yourself out there. Put yourself on a platform. It doesn't mean you have to go on a TV show to represent your brand.
Yeah.
Come to events like the business show. Get yourself talking to like-minded individuals. Think about which platform you can showcase not just your business, but yourself.
Love
because
that.
people buy people. So for me, amazing that we're in Selfridges. Unreal. I mean, how fancy, right?
Love it.
But for me, the opportunities are endless. I can't stop there because there's so much more to do. And The Apprentice, I would say, has given me a platform and a voice, but the business and the hard graft is still there. You know, I have to have logistics in place, a team in place. It's not always easy, you know. Things don't get handed on a plate to you, even if you've gone on a TV show.
But you still got the challenges, right? That you've got to follow up. Yeah, of course, yeah.
And more pressure.
Yeah.
Because I've now got an investor that I have to return that investment on.
Yeah.
And quickly, you know. The pressure's on.
Yeah.
But I love it. I wouldn't have changed the experience for the world.
Yeah, you've done really well. One of the questions I always ask the guests, and we'll probably finish up on this question, so we can do a shorter episode today, because we've got this big business show going on, and you know everybody's out there and meeting and creating conversations, is that if you were to give someone some business growth secrets, somebody listening to this podcast, and you said from all the experiences, 7 years in business, first of all building your six-figure business, getting out there on the show, building that brand, becoming more known, finding your voice, all of those things. If you were to pinpoint one thing that you would say would be a business growth secret, something that people are perhaps not doing, that you would recommend that they do, what would that be?
This is going to sound really simple and basic.
That's fine.
But
it's easier from a big place, right?
It is, exactly.
Right.
And you know what? So many people are going to think, oh, that's fine, I'll skip past that because I've got it in my mind. you need to do this. You need to write down your goals and revisit them daily, monthly, weekly, every single moment that you can, so you can consistently remind yourself why you're doing it, okay? It's okay if your goals change, but you need to be that specific about what you're wanting to achieve right now, because if you put that pen to paper, you are putting that out there in the universe,
100%.
in the world,
And
okay? If you don't have a specific goal, well then, what are you doing?
What
Where
are you
are you
aiming
going?
towards, right?
What are you aiming towards, okay? Very basic, very simple, but it's so important to visualize and decide what you want. Make the decision. Because if you're dilly-dallying and you're not quite sure what you want to do, well,
it's not
neither
gonna
is
happen.
anyone else.
And I'll just tell you, I back that 100%. I've been doing that since I was 16 years old.
Yes.
You know, and it's something that's so, so important. Look, I've loved having you on.
Thank
You're a
you.
superstar. She stood out. I saw her out there as well. And, you know, you're really making waves and you're going to be ultra successful. Are you going to be the most successful person on The Apprentice ever?
I have to say yes. Hell yes to that.
I'll tell Lee.
I will do my best. I'll give him my best shot, that's for sure.
Yeah, good for you. Well done. Thank you very much. It's been
Thank
amazing
you.
having you on.
Thank
and I
you.
can't wait to, I'll be watching your progress keenly.
Yeah,
Thank you very much
so
again,
much, Adam.
Harpreet.
Thank
Pleasure.
you. Thanks.
Well done.